take 927.53. That didn't make sense. That's how many times I've done it. Okay, so first of all, welcome to my homepage. There's my Uncle Don. He passed this year, which is why he's on my page. And me. And my mocha frappe icon. My favorite from McDonald's. Okay, so to get started, we are going to go to mail. I took pictures of the pages from the book that I want to show, and I emailed them to myself. So I'm going to go ahead and download them. So you'll notice that when I put my cursor above that line, then this bar appears. So I'm going to click on where it says Attachments 13. Now I could save all of these separately, but I'm just going to go to Save All because that makes more sense to me. Excuse me. Now I'm going to change this to desktop. That way I can find it easily. And I'm going to make a new folder. And I'm going to call that Zoom Book.
No, that's not possible. The Jedi would be aware of it.
Okay, so now that folder is on my desktop. Let's see. There it is, right there. And then I'm going to push save, and that's going to save all these pictures into that folder. That folder right there.
The Viceroy of the Trade Federation was once in league with this dark Sidious. But he was betrayed.
Okay, so I'm done with that. So close out of that. Now I'm going to go to Finder. And remember, we save that to the desktop. It could go over to the folder itself, but I think it will be faster if I do it through here. So here's Zoom Book. Now I'm going to click on all of these at the same time. So I'm going to start with that top one. And then I'm going to push Shift, and then I'm going to go down to the bottom one, and that's going to select them all. Now I'm going to right click, which remember is 2 fingers at the same time on your trackpad. And then I'm going to open with, and I'm going to do the default preview. You can still do a lot of things on preview. Okay, so you will notice that my pictures are sideways. I'm not sure if that's because I sent them from a Samsung to a Mac, or if that's just how all of them send, but here's how we're going to fix that. So notice that right now the only one that is in blue is this first page. Jar Jar Binks is talking. So I'm going to do the same thing that I did before to select them all. So I'm going to hold down Shift, and then I'm going to go down to the bottom one and click that also. So now I am going to turn the page. For some reason it only allows you to do counterclockwise, which I think is so odd, but whatever. So we're going to click once, now they're upside down, twice, and 3 times. Okay? So now those are all taken care of, and we don't have to mess with them anymore. So really quickly, I'm going to save this so that I don't forget. So I'm going to call it Boxcar number 50, chapter 1. So remember, this is only one chapter of the book. And then that has saved it right there. Okay. And it shouldn't have edited on it still because, okay, I'm done editing. Alright, so now the next thing I'm going to do, just because I want to have more options for how I can edit this, I'm going to click on this toolbox right here because that's going to give me a bunch of stuff that I can use. Okay, so you should be able to zoom in or zoom out depending on what you want, but this is basically here for you to do whatever. So if you change your cursor,
I've given up trying to argue.
Trying to remember, I feel like that's just going to be a pen. Okay, so say you're working on compound words. Okay, friends, so remember that compound words are 2 short words smashed together to make one long word. Oh my goodness, I noticed that this word house boats is a compound word. It has two smaller words that make one big word. Can anyone find another one? Oh my goodness, right next door, row boats. Now they probably will not find sailboats because they probably don't know about the hyphen. So what I might do is say, okay friends, I realize the word sailboat looks a little different, but here's how it should look. Oops, not sailbox, sailboats. The problem is that they ran out of space here. So sometimes when a word is really long and you can split it like that, you can put a hyphen if it's going to the next page. Okay, so that is, oh my goodness, another compound word. Okay, so there we have sail, and then we have boats. Okay, all right, so let's see, what else could you do with this page? So, of course, we have grandchildren is another one. All right, so say that you are working on contractions. Let's change our colors. We're going to switch. Oops. Okay. Since we're switching topics, I'm going to change color. Hopefully you can still hear me. All right, so we could say, okay, who can find the contractions on this page? So we have here dragons. I want that to be none. Okay. And then we have, oh, I see sheaves. And then we have dragons again. That's hyphenated. And then we have, oops. And then we have, they're so close together. Let's start down here. And then we have shouldn't. Okay. So this would be a good time to talk about how dragons, that is a different kind of contraction than she's and shouldn't. Okay, because these are two words where the dragons is a possessive. So you could talk about that. Okay, so let's say you want to talk to them about punctuation. So we could say, okay guys, let's look and see how many periods are in here. Okay, so let's see. 1, 2, wow, this is a long sentence. This is all the way in here. 3, 4, and then this ends before the end of the sentence. So we have 4 periods. Does that mean there are only 4 sentences? And hopefully they say no, because we can also have an exclamation point or a question mark. So it's like, oh, okay. So this guy right here is going to be an exclamation point. So that means that on this page, unless we have something covered up that I can't see, then we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 periods. Okay, can anyone see any other punctuation? Oh, you see a comma. Why are all these commas here? Okay, and then you can talk about using commas for a list. Okay. You can also talk about using commas to separate quotations when someone is speaking, or when you are being more specific. So with her old friend, comma, Nellie Stoner, because it's telling you specifically who that friend is. Okay? So there are so many things that you can do on this page. But since you are working at, not really what I wanted to do, since you are working on rhyming, then let's focus on that. Okay? So I think I can revert back to, the original. going to browse all the versions. I don't want that though. Okay, well, I'm not going to browse the versions yet. I wonder if I can lasso these and get rid of them. Okay, never mind. We'll just leave those there. Okay, so let's say we wanted to take the word boat. Okay? So I could come up here and I could say, okay, friends, I see right here is the word boat. Remember that when we have rhyming words, that means that they end with the same sound. They might not be spelled the same way, but they end with the same sound. So can anyone think of a word that rhymes with boat? Okay, and they might say, oh, okay, so what do you have to do to make boat into oat? All right, you have to remove the B. Okay, let's add that to our list. Oat, oops. Okay, and then you could keep going. All right, what if we add a C onto that oat? What word would we have then? Okay, so then you can also make it a game where you're giving them kind of clues. Okay, then you could do another word like for, pour, bore, store. Okay, lots of rhymes there. But basically the idea is to get them into this text. So, and look at all that you can do just with the very first page. It's crazy. I don't know why that did that. Okay. So, be thinking about some ways that you could do this. You wouldn't want to do this, of course, with every single page, but I think it's a good way to review before you start the reading for that day. And it might actually be a good idea to duplicate this page so that you can write all over one and then not have to worry about erasing everything. I could probably just undo. If I wanted to, it's going to undo my rotations first. So it looks like it's Command Z. Okay, so it doesn't want to do any others. That's interesting. Okay. So, let me see if I can duplicate.
I was beginning to wonder if you'd got my message. I retransmitted it just as you had requested, Master. Then we decided to come and rescue you. Good job.
Can I copy? Okay, I'll have to figure that out later. Well, you wouldn't be doing all these things. Well, I mean, I guess you could if it's just a review of things that you've already done. Of course, you could just move these to the side once you're done with them also, I guess. It's kind of up to you how you do it. Or you could delete them.
I've got a bad feeling about this.
That could work too. Okay. Alright, so hopefully this gives you a little bit more confidence on things that you can do on here. I think that this is probably the fastest way to do a book so that you can actually work on it, and so that you can share your screen to this. So it has to be open for you to be able to share it. So if I left it just like this, then it would be an option when I'm on Zoom to share. And one thing that I want you to do, even though you can, I don't know why it's doing that. Even though you can scroll up, I want you to push your arrow, and if it does something wonky like this, you just know how to turn it up there. And then that's going to give you the next pages. Okay? And then if you wanted to stop and, oh my goodness, what's this word here? You know, you could talk about the words. How would you break it apart? Then you could also have your stop and think, and you can even write those in there, like why do you think Benny wants an adventure? Oh my goodness, I can't spell. Okay, and then of course you could talk about what you know about Benny so far. So you go back to those character traits. Well, we know that he's the youngest, right? So he probably, and I think that he's like around kindergarten age, so he's pretty young. And also remember that you don't have to give them an answer. You could just say, I wonder why, and then move on. That is acceptable also. Okay. And you can even write that on here ahead of time so that when you get to that page, then you remember to stop and ask that question. So that's probably what I would do. If it was a real book, I'd have a sticky note there. But on this, you can just do that right there. Okay? And then, depending on how many times you stop, that will probably depend on how many pages you want to read. There are 13 pages here, which is not the longest chapters I've ever seen, but, I mean, they're pretty lengthy. So you'd probably want to stop just, I don't know if you'd want to do once a page or maybe once every other page. But, you know, just don't get crazy with it. But we still need to keep them interested while you're reading. So we want it to be not so much a read aloud, but an interactive read aloud so that you are interacting with them and keeping them engaged. And one thing I always like to do, and I don't remember if I've said this in this video or one of the other 1,000 that I've recorded, but one of the things I really liked to do when I was doing a read aloud, of course they didn't have the book in front of them like yours are going to, but I liked to give them kind of a task to do. So either they would have to listen for something, or I would give them like an assignment that they would know is coming. So I would say, okay, when I stop, I want you to quickly sketch the picture that's in your head. And then I would give them however many seconds, and then just right back into reading. So if you give them a little job to do, then it kind of gives them a reason to listen. So you could also say, okay, I'm going to read this page, and when I'm done, I want to know how many times did Henry talk? You know, something like that if you are really wanting to focus on dialogue. Or how many times did you see the ending ed? Ed. Okay? And that can just give them a really quick reason to focus. And they could even be counting those. If you tell them at the beginning of the page, they could be counting those as you're reading. You just don't want to give them something that's going to distract them from listening. So it might be better to do something more like the quick sketch. Okay, I feel like that's probably way too lengthy of a video, but I wanted to give you lots of ideas. Hopefully you can actually hear me over this movie because it's a fight scene right now, so it's super, super loud. Okay, I think I'm done with you. We already saved it, so that would be the next thing. Like I said, I would just leave this open. That way it's going to be an option when you share your screen for Zoom. So good luck. I think you'll be able to do this. Like I said, this is probably the easiest way that I found, and I tried about 4 different ways. I think this is the way to go, as long as that page turn is not going to be weird. All right, so let me know if you have any questions, and I'm out.